So the initial point around making this whole video was going to be talking about how Team 17 and Cover 6 can win back the community for Hell Let Loose, because while the game is still good, the core game of Hell Let Loose is still good and still really healthy in terms of player count, the community sentiment towards Team 17 is definitely just on a downward trend from the exact point they took over, right? So the whole point of this video is going to be talking about how they can win the community back. But I noticed something last week when it came to the price of Hell Let Loose and what Team 17 have done, which is really sneaky. So what they've done, if we look here, you can see the price before Team 17 fully took over was $34.99. This is pounds. It's going to be your local equivalent or whatever. And they increased it by £5. And they made an actual announcement of this. They made a community announcement basically saying they're increasing the price by 5 units or whatever your local equivalent's going to be. So yeah, they publicly made everyone aware that it was going to be an increase. But then if you look over to the far right of the graph, you can see it's suddenly gone up a bit more. And what they've done, they actually did it here, but we'll concentrate on this bit. You can see the price minus 35%, $25.99 during a sale, and then suddenly the price increased with the same discount to $38.99. And that's because they sneakily increased the base price of the game to $49.99 during a sale. It is such a sneaky increase, and it's only £1 less for that discount than what the base price of the game was. Hey guys, look, it's 35% off, but it was only a pound less than what they set the price as. So yeah, base price of the game $49.99, but they did put a bigger discount recently during June and July, and then I think they probably somehow messed up there, or the reporting is bugged. But yeah, base price of the game is $49.99, and Hell Let Loose is not a $49.99 game. I think the reason they've done this, and this is based on them doing it during a sale, is probably because when the game is not on sale, it doesn't really increase in price. For a game at this age, that's probably normal, right? But during a sale as well, they get the most amount of sales. So what I think they've done this is, they can increase the base price, give the same discount or less, and you compare it to these discounts here, they'll still make more money because the game will still cost more even though they're giving it the same percentage of discount. That's why I think they've done it. And for a multiplayer game, generally the base price of the game throughout its entire life will just steadily go down. And let's compare this to, say, Squad 44, not the best comparison here, but the base price of the game hasn't changed during this data, October 22 to July 24, and they're giving it, well, probably some more consistent discounts here now that Offworld Industries has actually taken over the game and are now developing it. Before, I've no idea what happened with the original company. There's lots of stuff that gone on in the background, I think, but it looks like they're giving it consistent discounts. But that price hasn't changed. I don't know what that is there, but it's not changed. Go to Squad. Again, the base price is staying stable, but if you look at the trend of the discount, the trend is going down. Right, they give some big discounts, smaller discounts, and a bigger discount compared to this one, but the base price is still staying the same. Look at Hunt Showdown. Again, probably not the best comparison because it's a different type of game, but still a multiplayer shooter, still an aged title. They've recently lowered the base price of the game, and next month Hunt Showdown is getting a major update. They're upgrading the engine, putting in a new map. It's going to be a huge thing and putting in a lot of changes, but the trend for that is going down. Insurgency Sandstorm, again, an older game. The trend for that, for the discounts they're given, is going down. Hell Let Loose, the base price is up. They're given discounts, but the discounts are, in terms of the price, are less than before. I don't agree with it. We've told the devs in our War Correspondent Discord that the price is too high, they need to lower it. But we've had no response from anyone, because really the only people that speak in that partner Discord channel are the moderators, who I believe are just volunteers. And you very, very occasionally get like a community manager or a relations manager post something in there asking us for stuff. It's pretty much a dead Discord. When Black Matter were in control, the actual developers were in there. Max, the CEO of Black Matter, was in there. Yeah, he didn't really ever say anything, but he was in there, so you could actually see it. But now there are 0 developers in the partner Discord, which I think says a lot, really. But for Hell Let Loose, I mean, yeah, if we look at it like this, you have the base price of the game, like here. You start putting out purchasable DLC, so the full price of the game and the price that they want you to pay keeps going up because of the DLC. So then what you should do is lower the base price as you're releasing more DLC, so it keeps going down. Or, you know, it keeps going up and down, really, like the full price, if that's making sense. But what Team 17 are doing is you know, having the base price, increase the base price, put more DLC, then increase the base price and keep putting out more DLC. It's not the right way to do it. Lower the base price. They should lower it back down to $34.99 or $29.99. That's what I think they should do. The game's, what, 3 years old now? From its 1.0 release, 5 years old from when it first came into early access. Lower the price. Don't increase it. It's just not the right thing to do. But how do I think they can win the community back? And I got a few ideas. So, first thing, and it's the most obvious thing, is stable updates and patches. And what I mean by that is stop introducing new bugs, new optimization issues. We just want, it doesn't matter what content really is in it, you can put out small bits of content, large bits of content, 0 content, but make those updates and patches, just not introduce new bugs. So that means that whatever development process or pipeline or testing QA process they have is not working. It's failing every single time. And one thing that is probably good to mention is, if you remember when the British update came out and they released that awful trailer, they made an announcement of plans they're doing to like change the game, and one of those things was to increase the QA resource so bad updates would stop happening. But then when Team 17 had all those layoffs, they laid off their QA team. Like, fucking Team 17, man. Well done. And with Hell Let Loose's updates and patches, the actual release dates of those patches are always announced really late. It's like, oh, the update's going to come out in a couple of days, or it's coming out next week. It's not like announced far ahead. Again, I'll mention Hunt Showdown. Their big update's coming in August, 14th or 15th. And they announced that, I think it was last week. So that's nearly a month's notice. So with Hell Let Loose, what they can do is actually fully test the update and the patch. Fully test it, fix everything with it, and then announce the release date and put out a stable update and patch. That's what they should be doing, but they're not, because whatever they're doing is failing at so many levels. And I want to mention my job. I'm not going to tell you exactly what I do, but it's an IT related job where I look after a couple of systems for a company of like 600 plus people. And I'm the only guy who looks after one of the systems, and it's a main big system that the entire company uses. So I have to fix issues with it, put new stuff into it. I'm the only guy that does it. And when I put something new in, I develop it, I test the workflow that I've designed, like it should go from step A to B to C to D. But then I go through and try to go from A to see if I can bypass certain things or essentially break what I've done. And I fix all that before I then tell the person who wanted this in the system, now you test it. And then once that's all done and any issues found and fixed, it then goes to live. I don't just make something and put it straight in, because that would be stupid. And that would just cause a lot of issues. But that's what Team 17 and Hell Let Loose do. They just cause loads of issues. So they're just failing, right? This is failing. The next thing they can do, and I mean this is so obvious, and this is something that us partners and probably the community have been calling out for years. Have a full-on tutorial in Hell Let Loose. I'm not talking about just a firing range. The firing range was a good start, but nothing's really been done to it. You've put in a German version, which I haven't tried yet because, well, like, what's the point? You need a full-on tutorial. The game needs a better onboarding experience for new players, and what that will do, while it will take some time to develop a full-on tutorial, a lot of resources, but this is well overdue. And if we talk about console, there is no game like Hell Let Loose on console. The closest you'll have is probably something like Battlefield, but that's still a very different experience to play. So, and you know, this game's on Game Pass, so many other people can just play it and just really not grasp what the game is until they've put a lot of hours into it. There should be a tutorial. What this will do is that it will help integrate new players straight into the game, so they know, oh, this is how the game works. This is really how I should play it. You know, stick with my squad, communicate. This is how I should defend locations. I don't just need to stay in the strong point. I need to defend the whole square around it. I should actually defend. It will just increase the quality of matches, which will keep people playing the game, which would increase the chance of people buying DLC, probably increase the chance of people recommending the game to other people, which would be then more people buying the game and buying more DLC. Right? It makes sense. It makes sense to me. That's how I think it would work. And what I think they should do when they put in, if they put in this full tutorial, is make it a requirement to play. A new player boots the game up, it puts them into the tutorial. Fucking hell, can't talk. Puts them into the tutorial, and make it so that when they put it in, people below a certain rank need to finish it. Now, rank doesn't have any correlation with knowledge about the game. Really, you can only say this person has played the game longer than others because their rank is higher. I know you can have better games and get more XP than someone who, you know, plays the game longer and has less XP, but still, rank doesn't mean anything. But I don't think they should make the tutorial a requirement for every player, because it should be an in-depth tutorial, and I think a lot of people who play the game, especially veterans, should really know the game. Also, the community engagement from Team 17 Cover 6 needs to be a hell of a lot better than it is. There needs to be faster responses to community feedback, to issues or patches. I mean, if we look at update 15.1, this one, which introduced the recent bugs of the new UI, which no one asked for, no one ever wanted, and the other issues with quarantine, I think it was, it took them nearly a week to say, sorry. And this is a pathetic response. It's a standard, we're sorry corporate response. I can't believe they actually put something like this out. Because you read through it, I'm not going to read through the whole thing because I can't be bothered. But look at that line there. This update didn't meet our expectations, but we released it because we don't give a shit. That's what that says to me. If it didn't meet your expectations, why did you release it? How many times have we seen this sort of apology from Team 17? Probably only a couple of times or 3 times, but still, that's however many times they've said it is that many times too many, right? It's pathetic. It's a pathetic response and pathetic development from Team 17. They also include this line: we have incredibly passionate World War II enthusiasts working on Hell Let Loose. Small team of developers who love the game with determination to create the best experience possible. I don't give a shit. Quite frankly, I don't care how big the team of developers are. The issue is that you keep introducing bugs and stuff people don't want. That's it, really. And I'll compare this to Squad 44. I mean, the player count for Squad 44 will always be lower, always get calls that it's a dead game. It's only on PC. It is a much more like hardcore game, but Squad 44, I think in terms of their updates, are doing a much better job. Right? Much better job. And Squad 44 has one full-time developer, two part-time developers, and then I think it's 18, I don't know what the right term really to use for this, but hobby developers. And these like hobby developers are members of one of the mod teams that really now lead development for Squad 44. They're doing it in their free time. They have their own full-time jobs. They do those, end their workday, come home, and then develop Squad 44. And they're doing a better job at pushing that game forward than Team 17, Cover 6, and Expression Games are doing for Hell Let Loose. Let that sink in, right? Hobbyists are doing a better job than 3 companies. It's a joke. But I think we also need to know from Team 17 what the plan is for the future, because the roadmap, which is here, Skirmish is in. I really liked Skirmish. Okay, I don't really play Hell Let Loose a lot, but I really like the Skirmish mode. But I think the general feedback from the community is they don't like it, and I think Skirmish mode has pretty much been abandoned by the community. But Hell Let Loose, or the developers, keep putting out new maps for it. Maybe they've got access to extra data where it shows that more people play it, but if the community don't play Skirmish, stop developing maps for it because you're wasting your time. Mortain is in. Updates to the practice range are in. That's coming in the next patch, and I'm 99% certain something's going to not work with that. Changeable weather conditions, they are coming in. Map variants, it's an ongoing thing. I think those tanks are in. That's an ongoing thing. Can't believe that's even on the roadmap. The British released last year. I think the next rework has been put out, I think, but it's still balmy that they're still working on the British. The new announced map is Elsenborn Ridge, I think. Was it this one? Yeah, Elsenborn Ridge. That's coming soon. They formally announced that in June, so that should be coming very soon. That's not done yet. I reckon that'll come with the release of Elsenborn because, I mean, look at it. It's a snow map and free and paid DLC. That's an ongoing thing. So what's the plan for the rest of the year? It says here that this only reflects medium-term development goals. So what's long-term development goals? I think that's what the community wants to know. Because when Team 17 took over, you had the 2023 roadmap, which was really ambitious, and nearly entirely abandoned, but people love that, and they'll love to see some, a big push from Team 17 to get more stuff into the game. Just make sure it's fucking stable. And when it comes to community engagement, I know that the community manager, I don't think there's a lot of engagement on his side, and I'm not putting any blame on him because I know he is overworked. How Team 17 have their community managers, they don't have a community manager per game. They put their community manager into multiple games. So they're managing multiple games at once. And I know this is the second time this community manager has been put onto Hell Let Loose, and this will be the second time it's been taken away from him. The first time it got taken away, I believe they put in Wombat Medic, who was purely there for Hell Let Loose, and the engagement was much better. That's why there was a petition made to keep Wombat Medic part of the game when all the layoffs happened. But they got rid of Wombat Medic. She's landed on her feet. She works at Larian Studios now, who made Baldur's Gate 3, and she's over there posting loads of Pingu memes and stuff for their Twitter, and I think people really like her over there. So yeah, well done for her. Just Team 17 fucked up again. But what it seems like to me is that Hell Let Loose is a lower priority for Team 17 because, I mean, I don't have any idea why it would be a lower priority. If you look at, these are the games that Team 17 have published. Got Hell Let Loose here back in 2021, but they now own it. If you look at any of these games, is there any really ongoing games. I know Dredge has done really well. I haven't played it, but I think that's won loads of rewards, but I don't think it's really an ongoing multiplayer game. Trepang 2, I played the demo of that ages ago. It was really good. I still need to purchase and play that, but that's not really an ongoing game. The same with Blasphemous 2. That's like a side-scrolling, well, yeah, Metroidvania Souls-like type of game. I played the first one. That was really good, but there's nothing here which is like an ongoing multiplayer game. You look at games developed, like, what? One game in the last 3 years? And that's a single player game. Hell Let Loose is probably the game that's making them the most money. Probably. Like, what are they doing? I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. If we look at Cover 6 Studios, that's the development team that Team 17 set up for Hell Let Loose. That's their Twitter. Dead. Never done anything. Completely dead. This is their LinkedIn. They made one post. No jobs available. No associated members. What's interesting is if you click on their website, which they did have a website, it just now redirects Team 17. Do Cover 6 Studios even exist anymore? I don't think so. Based on some of that, I mean, it's grasping at straws, but you look at Black Matter, the creators of Hell Let Loose, Black Matter don't exist anymore, if you didn't know. Their website's still up, but Black Matter as a company are dead. They shut the company down and made a new one called Good Fun Games, which is, or Good Fun Core, sorry. And they have a new game which is coming out. They haven't formally announced it or anything yet, but it looks to be, I mean, like a sort of medieval, well, not medieval because it's got Nelson there, so Napoleonic time, I don't know, maybe like zombie type thing. That'll be announced soon. But yeah, Black Matter's website is still up and they're a dead company. So for Team 17 to shut down Cover 6's website, to me, that says that Cover 6 as a company are dead, based on their other social stuff, and that on LinkedIn, which is really heavily used for like IT stuff, you know, there's nothing there. I mean, even if you look at Black Matter, they still have people associated with it, and that's, you know, that's gone. So it's so weird. It's so flipping weird. But yeah, Team 17, 1, put out stable updates and patches. Doesn't really matter what's in them in terms of content. Just make sure they don't introduce new issues into the game. 2, I'm swearing now in England. 2, a full-on tutorial, which gets people into the game, teaches people why they should build outposts and garrisons, what they do, what nodes and everything do, concepts around the game in terms of attacking, defending, flanking, you know, defending the point properly, all that sort of stuff. And 3, better community engagement. Pretty much, I think that's the 3 things that as a company you guys should work on to win back the community for Hell Let Loose. That's it. And I know you need to have better integration with the community, because recently, you know, the community managers and relation managers have been asking the war correspondents to reach out to our community to ask like what's going on with the game, what issues are people having. It's your game. It's your community. Your community is a lot bigger than my community. Reach out to your own fucking community, integrate with them to find out what the issues are. It's fucking But anyway, I mentioned it in my last Hell Let Loose video I did when I put a camera on my face, so sorry you gotta look at my face, that I do have a video that I'm making that is about an hour long so far, pretty much reviewing Team 17's ownership of the game. it's long overdue for me to actually put it out. I've been making some other smaller videos going up to that. I just haven't been happy with how that video's been made so far. So I've been re-recording some stuff. And when new patches and stuff and new events happen with Hell Let Loose, I then have to add on an extra bit at the end and keep on going and then change what I've said after that. But it will be coming, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about Team 17, Cover 6, Expression Games down in the comments below. What do you think they should do to just improve in general? But if you like the video, give it a like, dislike if you didn't. Thank you for watching, and see you on the next one.